What was your relationship like with the boss? I mean, obviously I know a little bit, but what was... I mean, he absolutely loved you. He never had really had a go at you. I mean, you could do anything.
Everyone says that.
He never had a go at you.
Is that a myth question?
You were like, no, sorry, we have got a third myth, actually. Should we go back to Mythbusters?
Yeah, forget that question.
I mean, absolutely, like, you couldn't put a foot wrong, I always felt, with the boss.
Oh, of course you could. He left me out millions of times.
Do you know something? That's what I do remember about, actually, if Albert, the kit man, used to come and get you in the
it was horrible, wasn't it?
players' lounge.
Probably never happened to him.
Before the game?
No, before the game, to basically leave you out.
You got one of them, didn't you, on your shoulder?
The boss wants to see you. And I always remember, I used to sit in the same seats in the players' lounge in the corner, and Albert came round to see Scholes, and he thought he was going to be playing. We didn't know he was playing, but he thought he was going to play. He tapped the boss wants to see you. Tell him to fuck off.
Did you go and see him?
He said, just tell him I know what's coming, it's fine, you don't have to speak to me.
You don't have to tell me, that's all right. Yeah. I'll get some excuse. It's too
Don't have to lie to me, you don't have to lie to me.
They're a bit physical.
You're not tall enough today. And everything.
He did that with me at Fulham away once.
We all had everything.
He said, I'm not tall enough to play at Fulham. I played against Duncan Ferguson 2 weeks ago.
You're not tall enough.
The maddest excuse.
Oh, you can't exactly work on your height, can you?
I love that.
We'll get back to Scholesy in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And as ever, if there's something on your mind, if something is bubbling up inside of you that you need to express, please express it in the comments. The Big D reads all of the comments, and he's always interested in what is on your mind. Anyway, in this little clip, Paul Scholes is going to be telling some nice little fun stories about, well, coming out of retirement, his relationship with the boss, his favourite midfielders as well, and it's a really interesting little clip, to be fair. This particular interview on the overlap is actually a really nice one. It's kind of like they've gotten back to basics a little bit and gotten into asking all the questions about behind the scenes at United and all of this, which is what made the show popular in the first place, because we like to know what goes on behind the scenes and all of that good stuff. Anyway, stick around for after the clip, because the Big D is going to be giving his thoughts on what Scholesy had to say. Here he is.
Who's the best midfield player, modern midfield player, current midfield player now, in your eyes, that you watch and you think, yeah, I'm having that?
See, I get slagged off for this, but I did a top 5 the other week, and because I don't put people like Caicedo in it and Declan Rice, because I like a different type of midfielder. I like Vitinha at PSG. I think he's brilliant.
Man, yeah.
I think he's amazing.
Can't believe he's at Wolves.
I thought McAllister last year at Liverpool was brilliant. Now he's not started great this year, but I like that more, not so much attacking midfield, but that more controlling one who can do a bit of everything. Not just a defensive one who just gets around it and might score the odd goal here and there. I like the more progressive type.
Who do a bit of everything, maybe?
Yeah, a bit of everything, yeah.
Who would be your starting midfield for England now? Like if all of them, like Palmer, Foden, Rice.
Bellingham,
yeah.
But Bellingham has to be in there just because of his goals, isn't there?
Well, I don't want to say anything.
Not just for his goals.
Everybody just looked at me
He's
like,
a good player.
you have to... He's proved it on that stage.
I'm trying to think of a midfield player, my mind's gone blank. I know there's Declan Rice, but when people say you didn't have Declan Rice in your top 5, he's not my type of midfield player.
Yeah, that's
He's brought Anderson in, He's brought Anderson in from Forest, yeah.
Well, yeah,
He's getting a chance, yeah.
Yeah, he's been good, yeah. I don't think we have that type of controlling midfield player now that can do a bit of everything, do we? Mm-hmm. We haven't got a team, we haven't got a Tony Cruz or a Modric from them days. I just don't think we have that. I think probably a while ago, Jack Wilshere was probably the closest to being that type.
Yes.
But obviously a load of injuries and stuff stopped him. I just don't think we've got that type who has that game in terms of when to slow it down, do you know what I mean? When to fizz it into a centre forward. I just don't think there's that intelligence around.
So coming towards the end of my career, and you played on till you were 38, 39 in the end, weren't you?
38, yeah.
You were in 11 Premier League titles, but you retire at the age of 36, just after me, a year after me.
Yeah.
And you basically retire for, 4 or 5 months. What then, how mad is it that you came back?
Mad.
Crazy.
Yeah, you retired, you didn't play football for 4 or 5 months, and then I just went on to play for United again. It's a bit, honestly, I remember...
I said that to myself, I want to play for United again, but I didn't mean it was going to happen.
I know, but I remember commentating on the game that you first came back in, which was the
City game, yeah, we've done that game, yeah.
And like earlier on, I think you said something like a Friday, it come out on the Friday or something. Was it?
No, it didn't come out until...
It didn't come out, but I remember finding out, I think,
What? He's back?
He's just playing for United again.
Did I tell you?
I think you told me, actually.
There weren't many people that knew.
No, but I'm thinking, like...
We played Blackpool away in the February. When I retired the first time, we played Blackpool away. I felt like shit. I think it was in March time. 2-0 down. We ended up winning the game 3-2. Remember Burberton?
Yeah, I remember that game, yeah.
And I felt, fucking, I can't do this.
Was it the physicality?
It was a physicality, yeah. And I went to the manager because he wanted me to sign a new contract to play 15, 20 games a year after. I thought, no, there's no point. I can't do it. I feel like shit. And playing 15, 20 games is hard, believe it or not, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to...
Is it 37? Yeah. It is at 37.
Yeah, and the manager always had a thing about me going back coaching, didn't I? I was never that bothered about coaching. You all did your coaching, but I never got into it. So I ended up just training with Warren. You know what Warren's like?
But when you retired?
When I retired, well, I
carry on training. Carry on going down training.
We got to. I had a few weeks.
I just retired, so you get paid. That's great, that, isn't it?
Money was shit. So he gave me like 3 or 4 months off, just take a bit of time off, then come and coach the reserves with Warren. And Warren's a bit of a control freak anyway, isn't he? So he don't like people doing anything. So I fucking trained. It was brilliant. I loved it. I probably got
reserves.
I was like 36, 37, but I felt as fit. We got to Christmas time. I felt as fit as anything. I was running with them. I was doing all the running. I was like a coach sometimes, just joins in and leaves it. I was running. Fucking hell, I'm all right here. And I went to watch the first team game, and I think Fabio De Silva and someone else in midfield. I can't remember. Phil Jones there then.
Maybe, yeah.
We got beat by Blackburn at home.
Right.
I was sat next to one and I said, fucking hell, I feel like playing again. So I didn't mean for United. I just saw it playing. I thought, I need to go back playing. And then I went to see people. I went to see Midfield, because obviously Mick was assistant manager. I spoke to Giggsy, I think, as well. So what do you think? So I thought, I'm going to look a twat here going in. Out, you dickhead. What are you on about? So I was shitting myself about going in to see him, and I went and see him, just said, I fancy playing again. And even if he said, no, not here, I'd have gone and played somewhere.
But he said, oh, no problem.
He ran David Gill straight away. He said, yeah, come on, let's do it.
Wow.
That's mad, crazy.
The mistake I made was going on the season after. That was a disaster. I should have took them 6 months, and that was it.
Yeah.
How many games did you play in the last season?
God, I don't know. But my first game was that City game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it didn't want to tell anybody for some reason. I don't know what it was. I even went to the old... So it was Boxing Day. I think the first FA Cup game was the week after. So he didn't want to tell anybody, but there was a reserve team game due at Newcastle away on the Wednesday or Thursday. I was going to play in it. So then obviously people might get a fucking bit of an inkling that it was going to happen, but it got called off. So I didn't even train with the first team. It didn't want anybody to know. There's obviously the bits about the boots and stuff, so I didn't have a proper pair of boots, so I had to go and buy a pair of boots.
That's crazy.
You've heard this before, though. I paid like 50 quid in Sports Direct for a pair of boots. Well, I haven't bought a pair of boots for 20 years, so I thought it was quite expensive. It's probably like 200, 300 quid, but he wouldn't let me tell the boot sponsor because I only had the coach's boots, and the coach's boots are shit, aren't they? So I couldn't get the proper pair of boots.
Well, why didn't you want to tell anyone?
I don't know.
Just to keep it...
Not me.
No, he didn't want to get... The manager didn't want to tell anyone.
Yeah, I don't know. He just wanted to keep it quiet.
And did you feel back to the level when you've, like, then...
I fuck no. Honestly, well, do you know, when I first started warming up and David Platt was there.
Platty.
He said, what the fuck are you doing? You walk past their dugout to warm up. And that's when I thought, fucking hell, he's right, what the fuck am I doing? I had the niceties, I could have just trained with Warren every day and felt all right, and coming back into that. And then as I was going on at sub, Mick Phelan tapped me on the shoulder, and like they do, the coaches come up with me. I think he tapped me on the bum and said, well, this is what you wanted, son. Fucking the fucking last thing I needed to hear. Please don't tell me that, fuck off. Anyway, we were 3-0 up in the game, out. Vincent Kompany had been sent off. Right. So they probably thought it was safe to bring me on with half an hour to go. Gave the ball away, Aguero scored straight away. Just scored a second. I thought, oh, for fuck's sake. There's 10 men here. And anyway, ended up all right. But, we didn't win the league, did we? That was the QPR year.
Yeah.
QPR won at
That's when, you lot up to Sunderland.
Yeah, I don't buy that Alex Ferguson ever fell out with Paul Scholes. I agree that with Gary in the sentiment that he was one of his favourites, and yeah, he never got a bollocking. He might have got disciplined a little bit here or there, but I remember Scholesy himself saying that he refused to play in a League Cup game, and Fergie didn't even tell him off. I mean, he was disappointed in him, but he didn't even tell him off and nothing was said. But Scholesy himself knew that he'd messed up and that he shouldn't have probably done that. But the thing is with Fergie, because Fergie was such a big, fiery character, when it came to players who were a little bit more introverted and a little bit more, they just got on with the job, they got on with the game and all of that, and especially if they were talented, extremely talented, because even though Paul Scholes wasn't appreciated necessarily by the footballing world, Fergie knew that he was top draw and that, you know, you couldn't fall out with a player like Paul Scholes because he was so unique and so good. But Fergie, personality-wise, he never really fell out with sort of the unassuming players, especially if they were so good. It was the brash players that he fell out with, the combative players like Rooney, like Beckham as well. I mean, Beckham was quiet in sort of speech, but in terms of behaviour, he was very flamboyant, you know. And obviously, Fergie didn't really feel as though the juice was worth the squeeze. It ended up selling him. So, but yeah, I don't buy at all in any way, shape or form that Alex Ferguson ever really fell out with Paul Scholes in any kind of meaningful way. What I will say is, I remember that game when Paul Scholes came back, and yeah, he did give the ball away. And yeah, people don't often mention that when he came back, and I'm really pleased that Paul Scholes himself has actually sort of confirmed that. Yeah, he gave the ball away straight away, and 3-1, and then obviously 3-2, but we ended up winning in the end, thankfully. But the kind of thing that irked me the most with Scholesy coming back was we were always clamouring for a brand new central midfielder. And we were stuck with Cleverley, we were stuck with Anderson, who never quite lived up to anything. Fletcher had his diverticulitis or whatever that was, his bowel condition. Carrick was getting on a bit. So I remember we were always sort of kind of hoping that Fergie would dip into the transfer market and buy Wesley Sneijder. That was the name that was consistently sort of touted in the media and by the fans and whatnot. After his triumphant treble-winning campaign in 2010, we wanted someone to come in and freshen up that midfield, and I don't think we ever did freshen up that midfield. I mean, it's the reason why Paul Pogba left, because he saw that Paul Scholes had re-signed and then he was going to start getting games. Now, fair enough, in hindsight, Fergie was probably right with Paul Pogba, fair enough. But then again, if Paul Pogba had come through the ranks at United at that time, he might have learnt enough from Fergie in those last few years, and from Scholesy, and from Carra. They might have kicked that stupidness out of him enough that he might have been the bastion central midfield player that we needed for the next decade, that we paid 100 million to bring back, which didn't pan out. So Paul Scholes coming back was actually a bit of a ball ache, really, no pun intended, because we needed to revitalise that central midfield, and I don't think we've ever revitalised it since Fergie's gone. I'm just trying to remember. Have we ever had a central midfield that's been any good since the last Champions League winning campaign? Because it's always just been kind of patched up. I'm trying to think, really. The Moyes team was basically the Fergie team. The Van Gaal team, who did he use in central midfield? I think he took Wayne Rooney in central midfield at one point. So clearly that didn't work. I mean, we had Matic and Pogba. That wasn't bad under Jose. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. Under Ollie, we had Fred and McTominay. Under Ten Hag, who did we have under Ten Hag? We had Casemiro. Oh, Herrera was pretty decent. But we've never really had an absolutely world-class central midfield partnership since that 2008 team when we had Hargreaves, Carrick and Scholes. So hopefully next summer, I mean, they've done really well so far. Hopefully next summer, Ineos bring in two world-class central midfielders to bolster up that central midfield. Because, yeah, Paul Scholes coming back when he did kind of stopped Fergie from putting his hand in his pocket. I don't know why Fergie didn't put his hand in his pocket more than he did in those final years. I really don't. Because surely he would have seen that Anderson wasn't up to snuff and Cleverley wasn't up to snuff. Surely, and Carrick and Scholes were obviously the wrong side of 32. And if he's getting rid of Paul Pogba, I don't get it. And especially if he was leaving, why didn't he just splurge? Because it's not as if the Glazers were holding back with the money. Because in the following years when Fergie left, they spent £1 billion. Why didn't Fergie just go out and spend 50 million on Tony Cruz and getting Casemiro in or something like that? A young Casemiro? I don't understand. Maybe Fergie was just too stubborn. Didn't like to be told what to do. Maybe that's got something to do with it. I don't know. But yeah, coming out of retirement, I wasn't pleased to see him, and I don't think he really did much in his second stint at United to sort of classify it as being any kind of success, really. Not really. I mean, he did win another league title, but so what? I think we'd have won that league anyway, with or without Paul Scholes, because we still had Carrick. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? You tell me. In terms of his favourite midfielders, yeah, I think he's right in terms of we don't necessarily have a Tony Kroos anymore, but it seems to me he likes those, well, he said himself, he likes those midfielders that like to dictate the game. And we haven't really had one since him and Carrick, really. But that's not to say that the midfielders that we've got now can't be a devastatingly effective central midfield. I mean, with talent like Bellingham, Foden, Cole Palmer, Declan Rice, and now the young lad from Nottingham Forest coming through, I think England have got a very, very, very strong midfield. But anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think Paul Scholes should have come back? Thoughts in the comments, and the Big D will see you in the next one.